His name is George Riley Fillmore, and grew up in kind of a tough time, and his father, whose name is Edgar, had had married, had taken a second wife, and so he left, and so my grandfather grew up knowing how to fight, and he was a good fighter. And my uncle George was a fighter, and my dad was a boxer as well. And he said there were three things he wanted in his life. He wanted to be able to swim, he wanted to be able to fight, and he wanted to be able to preach.
It was your grandfather that had that store, right, that you lived in?
Yeah, yeah. He had a great big birthmark on his side of his head, big black thing that was there all his life, I remember. He died when I was 8, but I do remember him. It seemed like he was kind of a gruff person. But my father loved him, and they worked together well. And I think it was probably my grandfather's horses that helped him dig that basement house.
Do you have any memories of your father's mother, George Riley Fillmore's wife?
Well, yes and no. His first wife died before I was born, but he married again a woman who was a widow, and Ellen Koyle Rose Fillmore. And she's the grandma that I remember, because she would get lonely at night, and we lived a block and a half away. And so the boys kept taking turns spending the night with her. And I would, Barry did it, and then Wade did it, and then I did it for probably 2 or 3 years. I would do my homework upstairs, and then I would go down and stand on Grandma's back porch and yell as loud as I could, "Grandma!" And she would open the door, and I had a bedroom with a bed. And I do remember her saying her prayers loud enough that I could hear them, and I thought that's wonderful. And sometimes, if I wasn't in a hurry to go up and milk the cows, she would build a fire in the coal stove and cook me breakfast right there on that coal stove with a pan, and she made me bacon and eggs, which I liked a lot. But she was a good woman, and she lived a long time, so. And so we took care of her. Although she had a son, Lawrence, who would come up now and then, maybe on her to help her with her taxes or other things. But we did the work on the farm. And after your grandmother and I were married, we lived in that house for a year, and it had a wonderful garden. And we planted the garden and raised rhubarb. There's rhubarb there in that house.